this empty. Good morning, how are you? Hi, welcome. So for this video, I only had one question. How to do outdoors product photography? Because indoors product photography is quite easy. You know, you have your lights, your setup, you control every parameter of the shot. But when you're outdoors, yeah, you kind of let a little bit of power over to Mother Nature, if that makes sense. You give her the power of the sun and the weather and the conditions and everything else. And if you're wondering, yes, I will show you some of the examples on the computer later. Just hang on, wait. I will show you some edits and some compositing in Photoshop or Lightroom with, you know, not a full tutorial, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to show you all the exact settings and toggles and all, but I'm going to show you some basic and fundamental parts of every picture. Sounds good? Okay. So in this video, I just thought I would talk about outdoors product photography. How do I think, how to do, how do you make the best of a bad situation? Because trust me, shit will turn bad quick when you're outdoors. It will blow, it will rain, it will storm, clouds, other phenomena that can happen. So one thing you need to think about is the setting you would like. When you take photos indoors, you kind of control everything like I do here with the light and the light and the light. I control every parameter of the lighting setup, but when you're outdoors, yeah, well, you can have lights with you, but you can't control the ambient light, the light that surrounds you, sunlight. So the first thing I like to do is checking out, you know, the weather. Is it what I want it to be? How is the weather supposed to be for my shot? Because some shots you want it to be cloudy, some shots you want it to be night, some shots you want it to be sunny. So you need to know beforehand what kind of setting you want and then just wait for that day. Yeah, I live in Sweden, so it's kind of tough. So I'm just out here looking for a spot to take the product photographies of the coffee beans and the coffee cup, and I have the sun directly overhead, and I have this beautiful like wood landscape, and I'm just gonna see if I can find some place that looks interesting. So this time I thought I would shoot, well, you know. What? Do you have the coffee? Yeah, no. Dude. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, sorry. I was just... Yeah, okay. Yeah, anyways, I thought this photo was gonna be taking off coffee. And I have the privilege and the luck to work with a Swedish coffee company called the Coffee Family. Translation. And they do fresh coffee. Is that what you call? Fresh malen. Färskmalen in Swedish, you grind the beans, you know. And I just thought I was gonna take some pictures of the bags and or the cups. So yeah, step one, analyze the weather. And you will most probably have to wait for the weather you like. So I do believe that I want the product to be like raised over the ground. So I found this like little stubble, I guess you can call it. And I'm just gonna find some, you know, some nice details to put in a picture, like, yeah, maybe like, we have a lot of this blown down. We had a storm last night. I'm just gonna look around, see what I can find, see if I can find anything interesting. One crucial thing is location scouting. You need to know where you're gonna take the photos. So you need to know where the sunlight is coming from so that you can composition your shot better. I have the sun behind me now, so like straight on to this stubble, which is kind of exactly where I want the light to come from. That's great. Step 2. Find a place, composition that is interesting and corresponds to the company or what you're trying to take a photo of. Dude, I'm getting so good at this complicated English stuff. Yeah. So my first step is kind of, you know, analyzing the company or the product that I'm taking a photo of. What do the company stand for? What type of vibe and or vision feeling does the company want you to feel when you look at this picture, you know? So if I try to shoot this coffee, do I want the people to feel at home, cozy, or do I want the people to feel, you know, like outdoors and adventure? Do I want the people to feel, I don't know, some other feeling? I need to think about all these aspects when I take the photo so I can set up the shot properly to represent the feelings that I want to communicate. Dude, I'm just saying. So this company, the Coffee Family, they have, you know, pictures of forest and lifestyle-ish, you know, outdoors kind of vibe. You know, you're in the woods, you're in the forest, you feel good, you feel adventurous, stuff like that, you know. So I thought that I was gonna up the ante, you know. I was gonna make this picture the best outdoors adventure-ish picture they got. And I might just be repeating myself right now, but I am gonna send this conversation over to Alesso a day ago. And another thing I like to think about when I take these photos is, you know, what does the brand represent? You know, this is a coffee company focused on, you know, family, outdoors, exploring the world, getting new experiences. So I just figured, you know, I could take the photos outside so that, you know, it looks like I'm on an adventure. I'm outside, I'm in the woods, I'm in the forest. So I mean, it's all about the aesthetics and the visuals that the company would like to be represented for, if that makes sense. You know, if it's a sports company, they might want you to take photos on a running track. Yeah, that's a good example. So for this company and this picture in particular, I thought that an outdoorsy kind of wood feeling would be the most natural way to go. Yeah, see, I told you I was gonna repeat myself, but you know, get the vibe, get the feeling. What do you want to communicate to the viewers? Back to you. So I'm just gonna get, you know, the coffee real grounded, real low on the ground, feel like it's present with my journey in the woods, something in line of that. You know, when you're selling the picture to your clients, you're gonna have to we call it ordbajsa in Sweden. It's word shitting. Yeah, so actually this scene with the stubble, that photo turned out pretty good. I got the cup, I got the bag, and you know, the lighting was just perfect between the two trees that I just showed you, I guess. And you know, just snap the photo, and I can give an editing tutorial one day if you would like on these types of photos. But you know, just up the clarity, up the contrast, down with shadows, up with white, down with blacks, and just desaturate the stuff you don't want to have color. Ta fucking da. The image is done. But I did not feel there was quite as much life in that picture that I wanted to represent. So I just went on. I just got a new idea. I thought if I could like throw this cup, I could have the camera here. This would be much easier if there were two persons, but you know, I figured I could throw the cup and then I have some coffee with me, so I figured I could like splurge the coffee as well, so it would be like I mean, if this works, I'm impressed, I'm glad, and you're welcome. Yeah, and actually that's another thing you kind of have to think about. You know, what is the motive of the picture? I tried this squish and it did not work. Just a pro tip, always have someone with you, friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, who the fuck cares, just have someone with you, because these types of pictures are incredibly hard to take just by yourself. So I could strongly recommend some help. You know what, that didn't work at all. So I just cranked up the shutter to like 1/1250, and I just poured the coffee, and I took another photo when I held the cup, and I'm hoping to supercompose it to a nice picture in post, I hope. Yeah, and since my first idea didn't work out, I tried it, I checked the camera, you need to be able to kill your darlings. That's an expression, right? That you have an idea, you try the idea, you look at it, and this is exactly what I want, but I can't execute the idea in the proper way to properly represent what I want to show. Holy fucking shit! So since the first idea didn't work out, I kind of have to be a little bit creative on the spot and think, shit, what can I do that will give a similar feeling? And I just thought I could pour the coffee on top and, you know, have the cup catch the coffee, but I didn't want to get the cup dirty, you know. So I took different photos. I thought that was the best idea, you know. So, you know, I think I got a few shots that could look somewhat presentable. Is this slanting? Nah. I'm just gonna try a picture right. Oh, yeah, just like that. There we go. Yeah, actually the picture with the tree turned out pretty fucking good. You know, this moss thing is kind of naturey, I guess. And I like the composition with the leading lines of the tree. You have the central focus, the coffee cup, that will say, bam, you know exactly what to look at. You have help with the branches and the wood and the moss, which ties together, grounds it. You have the sky, you have the blur. Yeah, that actually turned out pretty well. So for that photo, I actually had quite the luck. I found this, dungeon pit in last minute when I was just out walking. You need to walk in the woods to find these places. But I was just walking, I found a dungeon, thought, shit, this is perfect. I had light coming straight in, through the branches, through the trees, just beautiful shadow play on the ground. That's what it's called, right? Shadow play, light play, shadow dancing. Anyways, it just looked so beautiful. I thought, I have about 10 minutes before the sun gets too low behind the buildings. Let's just crack this out. So I just lost the light back in my dungeon, my pit. And the exciting part about private photography like this is that I don't know if the photos are good or not until I get into Lightroom and Photoshop. So this could have been an hour well spent or an hour better off watching Netflix. I don't know yet. And yeah, as I said, you kind of don't know the results before you come home and put it in the computer, because I can see if the cup is right, I can see if the droplets are in focus and sharp, but I kind of don't know if the idea is what I want it to be and if the composition is exactly right before I blend them together in Photoshop. So I guess that is the next step. I haven't done that yet. On one hand, this video could have been really unnecessary if this doesn't work out, but on the other hand, this could have built up the suspension a little bit, just a tad. Just enough to make you linger and wait for the picture. Shall we? Okay, so now I'm in Lightroom, just dabbling around a bit. And you can see the picture here. I bet I've already shown this, but it's kind of drastic from the original, and that's what I like with product photography. This was too green and too orangey for my look, and we have the subsequent pictures also quite green, flat, you could say. This one, this one is definitely my favorite. It's the most differentiating from the original, so yeah, also special place in my heart. So I've got these pictures of me holding the cup in different positions. Since I poured the coffee in another shot, I had to make sure that I held the cup, away like this. If I held the cup like this, you would see that it's empty, but if I hold it like this, you don't know. You're an idiot. No, you're not. Here I have these shots. I also have these shots of me pouring coffee. They're not as sharp as I wish that's one actually pretty good, but they're okay, that one too. But I wish that I came up with this idea earlier in the day and that I had used a higher shutter speed, because this one, it's on the verge of being too blurry. Okay, so I selected a few pictures that I thought were somewhat decent. I mean, this one with the droplets, it's pretty cool. It's a little bit blurry, but you can work with it. I have this one, the whole, the S arc with the coffee. That one is actually quite beautiful. And this one with the cup. Let's get to work. So I mean, is that a wrap? Have we done it? Have we proven that nice outdoors photography can be done with ease, with some nice techniques and, big brain power? I mean, I feel like you could achieve great looking pictures just by going outside, going to nature, finding interesting spots, finding things that please you, and that is in line with the company's vision or, outgoing strategy. I mean, you could find quite nice places quite easily actually, and just take some bangers, just shoot some awesome product photography that you can be able to sell to the company. Who knows? Wanna try?